Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Fetish Podcast, where we talk about
art,
spirituality,
healing,
and mommyhood.
Yes. I was like, oh
That
my
was
god,
we've never done that.
of course.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. We took a little break.
Yes,
But-
life was happening.
I feel like it was much needed, honestly.
You and I have been like, I think you did you go away or something?
Did we go away, babe? I don't think so. I think we've just been like in like really transition mode. Oh, thank you. But like it's just there. Yeah, there's just been a lot happening. I went back to work, so I feel like us, juggling three different schedules now instead of where before I was like, whatever.
Right.
So now I have like a little bit of more structure to my life, which
Right.
can cause me some stress and anxiety sometimes. But
I love structure.
yeah, it's good.
I do love structure.
It helps me manage my time better. Definitely.
Exactly. Yes. I do love structure, but I also know the other side too. I'm just like, oh my God, I need it. Like the other day I had to get my nails done. I was like, if I don't get some, like I even told him, if I don't get some TLC right now,
It's never
I'm not gonna,
happen.
I'm not gonna want to do anything today that I have to do. And I had to go to the studio that day and I was like, oh my God, I really don't want to do it. But then got my nails done. And I was like, okay, let's do this.
Now you can do anything.
Right.
No, I feel that. No, for sure. How have
Yeah.
you been?
I've been good. I've been really good. Life, we came back from Yosemite. That was a really good trip. It was good and healing. It was a really quick one, but it was like really nice to get away. And we always like to get away from LA, or I do.
Yes.
So that was really good. I've just been going back to work, forcing myself to write.
Yes.
I've been going through a lot of things like internally, like I'm really trying to like get my creative mojo back, and it feels like I'm literally, what is that term? Like what is that term?
Whiplash.
When you're like hitting your head against the wall, like there's no, there's just like
There's just a blockage.
yeah, like I just feel like there's no end to this. Huh? Pretty much. Yeah, a dead end. Like I just feel like stuck. And I know that it's in me. Like I'm just trying to like get over that, but it's like my biggest thing right now is what am I getting over?
You just fucking had a baby. Like
Right,
I know it
but-
doesn't seem. I know it seems like a while ago, but like it really,
really does.
wasn't. Like it's only been a few months. It hasn't even been a full year. Like that
Really
was
feels
like,
far.
and that was a long journey of creation. You know what I mean? And now, like,
Right. And it was like a time where I was like, I allowed myself to take that break, and nobody could tell me shit. But
it
even though-
really wasn't a break, girl. Like you just took time away from everything else to solely like focus on that. But there
Right.
wasn't a break. Your body was going through it. Your mind was going through it. Like you were
Right.
going through so much internally.
Right.
So it wasn't a break. Like
Right.
now you're getting a break.
Right. But it doesn't feel like that, Like I know what you mean. I feel like because like when you're doing the work, when you're in it, it doesn't feel like you're doing it. You need to do any more work. You just feel like you just being, and you're already you're doing the work and whatever you're trying to achieve. Right now, I'm doing the work, but it's also I don't know what I'm trying to say, honestly.
You're just like
I'm just trying to figure it out,
figure out your flow.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out this new version of me, and also like, what are my boundaries when it comes to creating too? Some shit like that. I'm just trying to figure it out. Honestly, I just need to like keep going at it.
Yeah. It's like a muscle. Creativity is like a muscle. So when you work it out, that muscle memory comes back. You know what I mean? And it's like riding a fucking bike. But it's like if you spent a long time not feeding that creativity, it's hard to jump back in the creative flow. So
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, and also I want to do things differently, like everything differently. So I'm like, I don't know
Yeah,
what
because
this new terrain
your
is.
past self, like you were creating differently. Now you're like
I want to try so many things, you know, but I don't know where to start. It's like being in a blank canvas, and I'm like, oh God, like I know how to do this. I don't want to make this anymore.
I want to start something else.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's
figuring
awesome.
it out. Yeah.
I
How
like
about
that.
you?
I feel like I'm kind of like in the same boat, but I'm just tapping back into my old. Like I feel like I took a break from creating, like art wise, like painting wise. I took a break from creating for myself for a little bit. Like I created for the art show, and that was for myself, but not really. It was for the art show. And then I've just been working on a bunch of commission pieces in between. And so I haven't really like sat down and figured out like, what do I want to create? Like, what do I need to co-create with God? You know what I mean? Like, where is my purpose within this niche of painting? And so I've just been figuring out like the next steps for me with that as well. But I feel like I finally like have a concept down pack. And I like, now I'm like planning out different pieces that I want to have so that it's a full cohesive series. And it's taken me a while, but I finally feel like I'm starting to like really feel out what my next step is in that realm. And so it's exciting, but I know I have a lot of fucking work to do. So it's like, it's overwhelming, but like I said, like blessed nonetheless, because it's purpose work, and I'm blessed to just be not lost in that anymore.
Right. You have like direction.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, like I feel like I have like a concrete direction.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about it. So
Same. Yes.
we'll talk about it later. 'Cause like I don't want to jinx any of it, but it's just like it's been a long time coming, and I feel like I'm reclaiming a lot of my identity in it. So it's super special. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Yes. Should we go into this, you know, what we're going to do this episode? We're going to pretty much, we have a screenshot. We have your guys' questions on Instagram when we reached out and asked
we
you guys.
didn't forget.
Yes, we made sure to keep that in the archives and then like just have an episode dedicated to that. So today we're going to do a little Q&A. Yay!
Thank you for engaging.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys for real. Because like there's like it's good questions.
They're really great questions, honestly.
They are. Okay. I mean, honestly, there's no organized way. We're just going to go into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one.
First one is masculinity and femininity. And we're assuming that they're talking about like energies, right? And like
the balance of the boat, of the two energies.
Right.
So I feel like we talk about this a lot, and going back into like the yin and yang. I feel like that's like masculinity and femininity in a lot of ways.
I'm smiling because my mind is like, I have so much to say, and I don't want to make this really long.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, go ahead.
But I feel like when you move in your masculine, which we have a lot of experience in, I mean, I do personally, and I know we've experienced this together, but just like that work, like provider type energy, you know what I mean? Like really like that hustle culture energy, I feel like is very masculine energy. And then having to kind of tap into your femininity is like, that's the energy of receiving and kind of just that softness and just being that divine feminine nurturing energy. And it wasn't until motherhood until I found the real balance of the energies, especially with my partner, you know. It was difficult for me to relinquish a lot of my masculine energy, finding a super masculine partner. Is this like on point? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is this what the question is?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I got of it. I feel like that's the same thing. Like for me, masculinity is like the part of me where is the go-getter, is the protector, is the one that gets the money as well, or like gets whatever opportunity that comes in to me or in front of me.
Right.
Is the one that just goes. And then the feminine as well for me is the one that receives, but also like is the creative part, you know, like whenever I'm doing singing, I feel like the most feminine. I feel like a
woman.
spirit, but also like in a woman's body for sure, which is what I am. But you know, like the full embodiment of the femininity. But I agree with you with like I pretty much tapped into that as well during my pregnancy when I was able to like just sit and like especially during my maternity leave and like not working and like just receiving and being affirmed that like everything is taken care of, you know, that I'm okay. Like that was step 1 too. But I've always like wanted my femininity since I was young to like come out, you know. That's why I was such a hopeless romantic. I was always like, you know, just like this little fragile girl. You know what I mean?
Because endless rom-coms, bro.
Right, like
I feel that.
a chick to the death, you know, like I want to be a girl, you know, but
I'm just
like
a girl.
so many times we were jaded. So
just a girl, but also like I feel like out of protection of myself, I always portrayed myself to be like this tomboy so that people wouldn't fuck with me. Like especially like I don't know. I just felt like out of protection for myself, I had to come off as this like super masculine, like
big dick energy.
Yeah, like just like tough girl, like not scared to scrape my knees and type shit. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I wanted to be a princess. Like, I'm a princess.
It's usually the ones that have like a really tough exterior that is like a legit egg inside. Me.
I'm just a cinnamon roll. Like, so I'm so blessed. Like, I feel like I'm so blessed to be in the position I'm in now because with such like a masculine counterpart that allows my feminine energy to be the forefront. Like, just so happy because I'm tired of being tough.
It's a nice balance because I feel like men have like they need balance in their feminine and masculinity as well. Like,
of course,
there needs to be that balance within yourself in order for you to be like the greatest version. If there's an imbalance, then you're gonna feel it. Like everybody feels when somebody's imbalanced because that shit is toxic. So like I can smell your toxic masculinity or toxic femininity where you're just like sulking. I guess I don't know what it is, but in both genders or people in general, it just needs to be balanced.
Yeah.
You know? And then when two people that are balanced come together, it's like even more powerful.
Yeah.
But that's not easy to do every day. Like sometimes I'm feeling, you know, like I wake up and I'm like, oh, you know, or sometimes I'm just like really just soft, you know? First thing I want to do is like tidy things up, you know, cook or something. There's moods.
Yeah. I feel like we've like touched on the other energies before too, because it's not just like divine masculine and feminine, but it's like shadow self and higher self and inner child and you know who you are today. And so like just balancing all of those energies and allowing them to exist all at once is difficult.
Yeah.
And so it's always a work in progress.
That actually just, I mean, then we can navigate to the next question because they're talking about navigating the multifaceted aspects of our identities. You know, we're multidimensional beings. So like maybe if you want to answer, what are they trying to ask?
I guess like, they just want us to discuss it.
I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like it's just, I feel like first you have to be aware of all of the entities, right? All of these parts of your soul, because a lot of times I feel like people only navigate out of one spectrum of it. Either you're navigating out of your masculine or your feminine or your inner child, like whichever part of you is existing in that moment. Like we talk about how sometimes we are navigating out of our shadow self, you know what I mean? And our shadow can exist while our highest like, you know, our higher
sure.
self exists. And so I think sometimes, I'm not trying to speak for everybody, like for me, sometimes when I'm in my shadow, like what is that word? My shadow worker, or like dark worker energy.
Dark worker and light worker.
Yeah, like I forget that my light exists, because I let my shadow overpower who I am in that moment. And so, yeah, just, I don't know, I guess not being ashamed of any of the pieces of you that exist, you know. I used to be ashamed of my shadow for a really long time, just like so ashamed of the parts of me that I didn't like my envious or jealous parts of me, you know. So I guess just the balance of it all is just knowing that they all exist and letting them coexist.
Right.
And not trying to suppress any of the energies.
Yeah. Or like making sure that things are in order within yourself. Like sometimes your shadow might want to come and pop off and like be the main character, but you have to be like, no, like sit the fuck down. Right. This is not the time and place. And I think that once you have control of yourself like that, that's when you're just like, you know, it's like there's levels to this shit, right? So like that is a certain level, because I was certainly not able to do that during my college days, you know, where I can be like, you're like overreacting or something like that, you know, like tell yourself to calm down, be accountable, and like tell yourself to like, you know, assess whatever it is. I totally agree with you on that too. I feel like we are able to be where we are now, like awareness wise with our like selves, at this stage for a reason, like, you know, like as being mothers, and then also like healing, like, or being at a certain point in our healing journey, yeah, so that we can even be aware of those aspects, because I don't even think there's only 5 aspects, you know. Like there's like fucking millions of aspects, you know. Sometimes I could be weird as shit just for no reason, like really goofy, and that, like, what kind of aspect is that? Right. The goofy aspect, like, I don't know.
Your inner child, maybe, I don't know,
I guess. But yeah, sure, whatever it is. But yeah, take it as we go.
We're all like multi-dimensional, multifaceted beings. Like duality exists. I feel like when people try to confine themselves into a certain identity or a box, that's when shit kind of gets, you know,
right, like you really have to let yourself free. Like when the camera turns on, we're a different person, you know, like, well, at least when I'm on the mic, you know, and I'm singing, nobody can tell me shit. This is my world.
That's like really you co-creating with God. Like God is honestly, like, you're the vessel.
Everything else is white. Like just you're nothing. It's just me and God. I don't see or hear anything except here and here. Bro, and the shivers.
I feel that. Like that's when I enter like creative flow. Like I black out. Like I don't know how I create pieces. People ask me and I'm like, bro, I don't fucking remember.
Right.
I was just doing it. Like
that's the best part. Like those are the best parts.
That's,
you know,
the reason
like,
why we do it.
And that's because like, we can't take the full credit. You know, like God made it. I feel like God like strategically made it this way for us when when they channel messages through us, that like we black out because it's not from us. You know, like it's from a higher source, from energy. You know, so.
Yeah,
that is,
bro,
God.
I chase that high, bro, like all the time.
I know, that's what I used to do with shrooms. Like every time I'd be like, I want to be there.
Where is he? Where's God?
I want to see the light.
No, I feel it every time. I'm like, and that kind of going back into like the creative flow that we were talking about earlier. Like I feel like I'm always chasing that, and so sometimes I feel when things aren't clicking for me because I'm trying to force it.
Yeah, literally the other day at the studio, I was just like, and I was just not having fun, but I was still trying to force myself, you know? But I missed that, like, that high where it just shit just comes out. I spent maybe an hour of my studio time looking back at old songs that I fucking wrote just for shits and giggles. And I just sat there and I was like, wow, I just feel more shitty. It's really me against me, you know? And like, yeah, because I'm not really looking at anybody else's videos. I'm looking at my shit,
Right.
you know, and I'm trying to do better every time and also like portray or speak what I'm experiencing right now. But I guess I'm just like in it right now, so I can't explain it, you know, like whatever it is I'm trying to explain. It wants to come out, but there's nothing, like I can't.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes out is just,
You just gotta,
you know,
yeah.
that's it.
No, I know. It's like so much. It's like there's so much that you need to translate,
Yes.
and so it's just like malfunctioning.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So frustrating. But that high. Yeah. The next question is, who are y'all's heroes and
My
why?
hero. I am my own hero.
There's a hero.
I feel like I'm my own hero.
Period.
Honestly, like when I really look at myself, like I'm my inner child's hero. Like younger Suvi, I definitely like. I said I was gonna do some shit when I was younger, and I'm doing it. And so, yeah, I feel like my own hero. I could say like some cliche shit like my parents, but like they're not really my heroes. They're just my parents. Like I love them, but
Thank y'all.
y'all fed me, you know, like kept a roof over my head. But did you save me? You're saving me now. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I just got that.
But yeah, I don't know. Who's your hero?
Honestly, same.
Beyonce?
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I am not part of the Beehive, but respected.
Right.
Okay? I
I feel
respect
that.
it. Not trying to cover it. My hero. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't have heroes. Like
Yeah. That's such a funny
I don't
question.
idolize anything.
What can you idolize? Big Al says this all the time. There is no mystery God. Like, you know God. It's within you. So God's my hero, and I am God. So
Yeah, exactly.
that was a quick question. What's the next one?
Right. That was a quick question. Homesick, moving away from friends and family, starting new. They want us to talk about this.
Moving to LA.
Yeah.
You can start.
I am not. Wait, let me think. I am not homesick because I'm home. But I do miss my friends. I do miss the community. I miss being able to like throw events and like my people would show up, you know, like right here in LA. We talk about this all the time, but like there's just lack of like, or not lack of, but like I want to create a space where we're used to back home, you know, where like people really show up and like it's for the event, for the intention behind the event, supporting, you know, all these artists and whatnot and all that. But it wasn't like a photo op moment type thing, you know? So like those genuine events and community.
Interactions.
But you know what I do miss the most is I miss fucking jam sessions.
Yeah.
Like literally going into a room full of people who know how to play instruments and sing or just be weird, you know, and then just make magic.
Did you ever go to a Black Cotton Club?
I was telling him about that.
Oh my gosh. It
Tamar was the one.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
beautiful.
so beautiful.
That's where I met Guy. He's just such a beautiful artist. Guy, I feel like if you saw Guy, you would know him. But yeah, just
something like that though, literally, but in LA. And it seems so like hard to grasp in LA because it's just a different crowd and like people's like priorities are different. But I still believe that at some point while I'm here, you know, like it can happen.
I feel like it definitely exists here. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
Like there has to be.
There are so many jam sessions. It's just like, do people want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we got to vibe.
You
We
can't
gotta
duplicate.
really
Some things can't be replicated. Like
period.
that was just
the energy.
pure energy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The pure energy.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I felt that moment at church too. I would just show up and like people would just start singing praise, and that's still music to me, and it's so beautiful. I love the sound of people's voices, like all in one, you know, like crowd voices singing the same thing. I love that. So I miss that. But other than that, I miss the brick buildings and
I thought you was gonna
fall.
say brick weather. I'm
Nah.
like, what?
No, I'm good on that. But yeah, other than that, that's it. But shout out to them.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Do you want to share your answer to this question?
Yeah, I feel like this is funny because of what I'm going through right now in life, but I feel like moving, I only ever feel called to move if I feel like my growth is being stunted in a space. And so moving here, it was because I felt like my growth was being stunted in Boston. And so coming to LA, like, I knew that the space that I was taking from comfortability was going to force me to be a different person. And so because of that, there was a lot of times where I felt homesick and I felt like I didn't know if it was worth the loneliness, you know, because I also do miss my friends, like the community, and just there's so much community. Like, it's not just like the community of people that we created in Boston, but like even like the Lao community back at home. Like my grandpa's in the temple, just food, like comfort food, you know what I mean? Like the fact that I can't just get Dominican food out here, you know what I mean? Or like a fucking lobster or oysters, you know what I mean? So I think when you grow up on a coast, to go to the opposite coast definitely can be culture shock.
Yeah.
But it's perspective, right? So I tried to change my perspective so many times because I was always comparing. And I had to stop comparing and just like let it be what it is.
Right. Just be grateful for this moment where
and
you're
it's so beautiful here. Like, I'm so glad to like have experienced LA because the nature here is unmatched. And yeah, it definitely was difficult though. Like, I'm so happy I had you. I'm so happy that my sister was here, that I had just like pockets of safe spaces, because without that, I don't think that I could have existed out here like the way, like I couldn't have thrived out here the way that I did if I didn't have that support. And so I'm grateful that I was able to do what I did here. But yeah, it was definitely hard. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to like survive out here, but I feel like we came here, or when we decided to come here, it was like a phase in our life where we were so like, we wanted to grow so bad. Like we wanted new experiences, and that's exactly what we got out of it. Literally we got what we asked for, you know? And
the fact that we came over here and like met our partners and created our families
is
like
wild.
That's so amazing, you know. It's exactly what we were called here to do, I feel like. And I'm so happy that we listened to our intuition, because you don't get those feelings out of nowhere. That feeling of like pick up all your whole life and just fucking go.
Right.
And it takes a certain amount of courage to do that. And so I'm proud. I'm proud of us and proud of myself, like where we are at and how we just handled this, you know, the situations that we did.
Yeah.
Because it was not glitz or glam at all. Like, it was really like through the mud type shit. So yeah, if you're gonna do it, like, be prepared that you get put through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You're definitely like, your faith gets tested, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, like we just said, you know, you get what you ask for. If you want the greatest, right?
He's so cute. Hi. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, we need to take a break because Siren's so cute.
Dude, what the heck?
I know.
He gets cuter every time.
I freaking know. I forgot what I was gonna say. Well,
Sorry.
on that note, we can just move on to the next question.
Right.
Okay. American identity while also honoring your Asian roots. You guys, we said question. Like, what kind of questions are these?
These are like think pieces.
Right, these are like topics. They are topics.
Stuff that people want to hear you talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we didn't say it. Give us questions. I don't know. Topics.
Right.
Maybe. Anyways,
But it says topics.
American identity while also honoring Asian roots. I would say, like, the biggest example for that, I would say not changing my name,
Mm-hmm.
like, legally, when I had the opportunity to, you know? Because I stand by that shit. You know, you're not going to make me assimilate to that level. No, I'm just kidding. But
I feel like assimilation comes out of survival in a lot of
Right.
spaces. Like we assimilate because we're trying to fly under the radar and not get
Or, like, try to
fucking-
fit in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's hard out here for
Right.
children, like especially growing up.
Right.
If you're in a space of just white American culture and you're not necessarily taught how to honor your roots like that,
Yeah.
then it's hard to navigate.
Right.
And it kind of fucks up how you identify with yourself
Right.
and where you identify. I mean, this is just me. I don't know what it was
Yeah.
like growing up for you, but for me, I was like, it was just always just trying to fucking fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And parts of me wish that my parents were like a little bit more headstrong on being like, you're loud. You are loud. You are proud to be loud. Like, this is who you are. Like, don't forget that.
Right.
Like, I wish they instilled that in me so that when I went to school, I would have been like, I don't fucking care
Mm-hmm.
if you think my food smells or if you think I'm weird for not having forks in my house. Like, I'm just a loud girl. So it's definitely, it's hard
Yeah.
to navigate.
I feel like I'm trying to think back, but like when I think of like East Coast or like the people that no, it was definitely a choice. I always, even at school, would go to the Korean kids.
Really?
I would just go find my own people that looked like me, and then I would feel safe, you know? Like, I was never that type of girl that had a clique in high school or anything. I was like, you know, hop around. I didn't really care about cliques.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't want to do was like eat lunch alone, and I would always eat with the Korean kids, and then sometimes with the volleyball girls, or like, you know, just
so
some of the fucking weed heads.
I wish there
school.
was more loud kids at my school. It was just
Yeah.
me and my cousin. And it was the school next door to us, like 15 minutes up the street. That's where all the loud kids were. And I always ask my parents, like, can I go to school there? Because I wanted to be around the other loud kids. Like,
Right.
And
That
so
really does matter for kids.
it
Like, to
does.
just have somebody in the like that looks like you, or that like is the same culture, or
yeah,
like
they
you
were all
know.
my cousins up the street too. So I'm
Exactly.
like, literally, my cousins were my friends growing up because, yeah, that safe space. Like, we could just eat whatever we wanted to.
Right. And power in numbers. Like, the fuck, we won't pull up.
And we
I'm
know
not
our
scared
fucking our parents are crazy. Like,
Yeah.
we just like we bonded in that. Like,
Exactly.
all of our parents had the same fucking problems because,
Right.
yeah,
Because a lot of people have the same problems.
yeah, because they all fucking came here like traumatized as fuck.
Right.
So we're dealing with fucking gambling and alcoholics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just sorry. I don't mean to shade the loud community, but love you guys. But yeah, you know, as kids, like we're growing up with that, and it's fucking hard because all of the white kids, like they're going on skiing trips, they're going on like, oh, me and my family have a house in Aruba. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Where's Aruba?
Right.
I don't know anything about this. I'm like, I'm just out here surviving, eating ramen noodles at home. Like, I don't know,
But then again, I'd rather do that than like hang out with some white friends that I'm not comfortable with. You know, like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be in Aruba, I want to be with like who I want to be in Aruba with,
Yeah.
not with just tagging along with my white friends' family, because I've done that too growing up, and like I hated that.
It's just
Like,
always just weird. I feel
I
like
just
there's
felt
like
uncomfortable.
a white savior complex as well.
Yeah, like I'm like your adopted daughter,
it's
you know,
fucking
like
weird. Yeah.
a charity case almost, and it's
And
like, girl,
I never understand why. I never understood at the time like why my parents were like, "Don't do that shit."
Yeah.
Because I was like, why? They like me. Like they
Right.
want to
It's
give
all
me this
paid
stuff.
for.
Right.
Like,
And I'm like,
everything is taken care of.
like I'm thinking I'm living like this luxury life, and they're like, don't accept that shit. Like
Right.
they're telling me, and I'm not hearing them.
Yeah. Same.
But like I said, like I wish that they just went the extra step to really sit me down and explain this shit, because
yeah.
I feel
It's
like
just hard to explain unless you really live it, right?
Yeah.
So like to them, they're also like, how do I explain this to this girl that wants to go hang out with her friend,
Mhm.
but like not know that there's, you know, everybody has
Oh, yeah.
other intentions.
Like I'm so happy my parents didn't let me sleep over at everybody's house,
Yeah.
because they were really trying to protect me from, you know, these fucking predators out here. And I was
Yeah.
just so like, why? Why can't I go? Like everybody's
know.
going, and I'm just like, yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Assimilating to American culture is definitely, yeah, it's difficult. I feel like if you're not,
It's bad when you're young.
it's bad when you're young. I feel like when you get older, you have a lot more appreciation for your culture.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody's cases. I feel like
Right.
that's a very personal thing to both of us. Like,
Right.
I mean, I've learned how to appreciate, like before I used to tell people that my family was from Thailand, because I would hate the question, like, where's Laos? I don't, what's that? What do you, and it's always, what language do you speak in Laos? Oh, is that in Cambodia or is that in Vietnam? I'm like, no, it's its own country. We speak our own language. Like,
There's always some dumb shit. There's
Always.
always, like, every time I say I'm from Korea, I was born in Korea, North or
Korea
South.
right. Bitch, if I was in fucking North Korea, do you think I would be here?
Like, are you dumb?
You dumb or you dumb? You dumb. I'm sorry.
But yeah, pretty much just find your own people.
Yeah. I feel, and also like American culture is, there's so much.
What is American culture?
There is none.
Okay.
There's black culture.
Period. Wait, but there's also I don't know what I was gonna say. I was
And then you got like that weird like hot dog eating contest like type American culture, I guess.
What?
They have
Are you
like
talking
the
about, like,
weirdest
glizzies?
tradition. Yeah, they have like glizzy eating contest.
Oh, first of all, I
like-
thought you were talking about glizzies, like the term, because I didn't know that glizzy was a. Is it like a
Hot
new
dog?
Gen Z term?
no.
Oh,
I think
I'm like,
I
I've
think
been
it just like
hearing it so often.
resurfaced.
Yeah, suddenly I'm like, glizzies.
Yeah, the glizzy.
Maybe it's been a thing.
Yeah.
I'm so like late with those things. All right, good. Okay, so we're gonna go to our next question.
It's our last question.
Yes, last topic. Raising mixed children and ensuring they're raised knowing both cultures. I can say what we implement for Siren. I talk to him in Korean too, here and there. I want him to call me Amma, like not mommy. So like hopefully he calls me Amma. And we like put on Baby Bus for him. That's like the only like toddler baby show like once in a while when he's like freaking out. And we put that on Korean, and so like he gets to watch and listen to Korean at all times. I feel like that's like the biggest way, you know, talking to my mom. Yeah, we keep it pretty Korean, like pretty balanced in this house. Eat Korean food. I can't wait for him to eat Korean food because I think he's gonna do really well.
Yeah,
Like
he'll like it.
I think he'll love Korean food. And then, what do you think? Like, how do we ensure that he's how do we ensure that we raise him with knowing both cultures?
I mean, right now, I feel like it's hard.
He's so young right now.
Older,
Yeah.
you know, start.
Yeah, he is only 6
I
months.
feel like it's a little young, but
Yeah.
besides like language.
Right. I mean, we just bought him his first like books from Barnes and Nobles the other day. So he started reading to him. I definitely want to like continue to read to him and stuff like that. So once he gets older, I think
Yeah.
we'll definitely talk to him more about like his roots, and you know, he like knows both of his grandparents. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing too, you know. What about you?
With Mikiro, like I think the biggest thing like that I want to implement is I want him to know that he is a loud boy as much as he is a black man. I said boy and man, but like, you know, a loud man and a black man at the same time. You know, there's no, oh, you're not black enough or you're not Asian enough, ever. It's never going to be that. And I feel like the most important thing on my end is to just make sure that he's surrounded by loud culture. And
Right.
I don't speak it fluently. I can speak it here and there. So, like, I always ask my parents to speak it fluently to him. We've introduced him to the foods. We bring him to the temple, you know. So I just try to immerse him within the culture. And then as he gets older, like you said, just like going that extra step to like really explaining why we do the things that we do and like the certain I guess it's called like hierarchy, but just like respecting your elders, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a big thing is like in Lao culture, like I want him to address people in the proper manner, you know what I mean? So just calling his grandma and grandpa, you know, Tu and Mitu or Impa Inime, depending on what he wants to call them. Addressing his older cousins as, you know, the older cousins and whatnot. But on the flip side, it's just we're kind of doing the same thing, just immersing him within his black family, you know, and so that he gets to experience that and
Grow up with them.
Yeah, and Big Al's a 5%er, so like I want him to do the mathematics with him every day. Like we tell him the mathematics. It's the terminology that he uses. So like he says peace when he greets someone and when he leaves. Kiro doesn't eat pork. That's like a big thing on our end. Like on my end, I grew up eating pork. My family eats pork till this day. And so to be with someone who doesn't eat pork and really honor that side of his tradition or his beliefs, there's always compromise, you know? So yeah, we both have to do our jobs separately because that's his culture and then there's my culture. So we both have to make sure that we're implementing it into him so he understands both fully. And then he could have that duality when he gets older.
Right.
But I think Black history too is really important.
Right. Just making sure that like he's just constantly being exposed to, you know, his culture and people that look like him.
And also too, like the alliances that Black and Asian cultures have come into in the past that aren't talked about today.
Right.
And I think that's a really big thing that I want to implement into him is just knowing his history, knowing the right history. Not that shit that they learn in school, you know.
Right.
Because there were Asian alliances like during the civil rights movements between Black and Asian people that they refuse to talk about today still. So
Right.
yeah.
I mean, you can see it in some shows. Like we've been connecting for hundreds of years.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely like our ancestors know each other.
Yeah, like we're ancient. Like
I told him too. I was like, your ancestor and my ancestor did something and put us together to meet each other.
like they knew
and made him.
And there's no question. Like there's pyramids in Egypt, okay, but there's also pyramids in Mexico. You know, in South America, there's pyramids in Southeast Asia. You know what I mean? In ancient China. So like everybody. Like our ancient history is very connected, and I feel like they do a good job at disconnecting all of us from each other.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was the case.
Right.
So as we uncover the truth, I want him to know the truth between both cultures. So I guess that's what we do.
We also experience a lot of weird things like raising mixed children too. Like it's actually crazy. It's like really crazy because our children are very young and there's a lot of people like literally like like just looking
and everybody
and, like,
always wants to address the father of my child and my partner as my baby daddy. Like he's not my baby daddy. He's my partner. Like and he's his father.
Right.
So I think there's like this they kind of like put us into a box once
Right.
people find out we have mixed children.
Or they look at, like, whenever we're going out as a family,
They're always trying to get a look.
right? They look at Vince, they look at me, they're like, I wonder what their kid looks like, because we'll like roll a stroller or whatever, and they'll literally look into
Break
our
their fucking heads.
yeah, to look
no.
into our stroller and stare at our baby. We've literally experienced where he experienced somebody at the airport, like literally looking at him from across the airport, like looking at Siren and then walking towards them and saying, like, you know, trying to create a conversation. And it's none of that like good energy conversation. It's always like very like fetishized type shit, you know? It's like, first of all, like, mind your business. Second of all, this is a baby. Like, what, I don't know why you're staring for way too long for,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
We went to a restaurant the other day. It was like we went to Johnny's, and we walked past this Asian woman, and she had a newborn baby. Like, she was with her family, and as we were walking by, she was like, "He's so cute," and I was like, "Thank you," you know. And I just like said to her, like, you know, I remember him being that little. Like, it goes by so quick. Like, don't blink, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, people always say that, and she's like, he's really so beautiful. And she was like, black and yellow, such a great mix or something like that. And I was like, all right, we could have left it at, you know, what the interaction was. And then she said that, and me and Big Hour was like, right. like,
yeah.
it was just weird. I'm not yellow.
I'm golden. The fuck?
It was just like, and it was from another Asian woman. So it was just like,
You are the reason why this shit's
Yeah.
continuing. Like,
it was just awkward.
I hate that shit. I really do.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I need to tell you about this one story before we like end it off.
Yeah.
And I was serving someone the other day, and she was like, the woman sat there by herself, and she was waiting for a party. The second person from her party showed up, and I went to greet her immediately. I was like, "Hi, how are you? Would you like some water?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." And like she was like talking like that. "Oh, thank you." And
She's
was
a
like,
white lady?
I don't know what she was. Like, she
Okay.
was like racially ambiguous, so I was
Okay.
kind of like, oh, maybe she's like fresh off the boat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't fucking know. And so I was just like, okay. So I brought her some water, and she was like, oh, thank you very much. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I went back to take their order, and tell me why she started talking normally, like speaking normally, like how I'm speaking right now. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? I couldn't even, like, I didn't even know how to react. I was just like,
Oh
I
my
feel so
God.
uncomfortable right now because there's no part of me that gives off Fobby Asian. I'm sorry. There's like none of my identity.
That's some shit that only happens in Heritable, to be honest. Period. Because, like, I mean, there is definitely, like, under the, like, what is it? Behind closed door racism at where I work, which is in West Hollywood. But it's not, like, straight up to, like, oh, thank you. Like,
Right.
are you twins? You know, like.
Girl, people still get us mixed up, and
It's
you're not
crazy.
even there anymore. They're
Bro.
like, they're always like, oh, didn't you just have a baby? And I was like, I was pregnant 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
I didn't even know you when I was pregnant. And like, they're always like, oh, your sister, how's your sister? I'm like, she's not my sister. Like, yes, we're sisters, but like, we're not sisters. And I'm just like, oh my God. And
I
I feel
know.
bad because like, I just start getting annoyed. And I'm like, it's just the fact that like, how can you not tell us apart? Like, you're just being rude or lazy. Like,
At this point, I'm, like, so numb to it. You know, like, I'm just like, oh my God, just another idiot. Another idiot.
and I just stand there and I'm like, you know me, I'll be like petty in people's faces. I'm like, yeah, that's not my sister.
Right. Yeah, I have those days too. I used to be like, oh my God. And then go to the bar, like, stomp there. They thought we were twins again.
Like, be fucking for real. Do we look alike?
Like,
We got one tattoo that matches. That's it.
they're going to be in the comments, like, out of all the time, like, they're never commenting, but this is the only time. They're going to be like, yeah, y'all are twins. Oh, your sister.
outta here.
And then
Even
fucking-
Janae, she was like, well, you guys act the same. I'm like, we have two completely
No,
different
we do
personalities.
not. Like, I don't see that at all. They're so crazy. Fucking out of their minds. People are getting on my nerves. Anyway, you know how we do.
Oracle.
We're gonna end our
An oracle a day keeps the doctor away.
period. Keeps a bad bitch
In check.
every day.
And
Try to rhyme, but I can't do it. Like, I don't know how he does that every time. Okay.
Which one? This is the animal deck. We
Yeah.
pulled for this already, so y'all already know.
Right.
Okay. Mm.
All right, here you go first.
Okay. I got
Oh my god.
I got the seahorse spirit, and it says watch and wait.
Cute.
It is cute.
I got the ant spirit, and it says time to collaborate.
Girl, that's what you don't want to
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's I'm like, oh my god, leave me alone. I don't want to collaborate anymore.
The seahorse spirit, watch and wait. The oracle message is hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse spirit appears at the time to remind you of your need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from the seahorse spirit is not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even though you're tempted to jump in the fray and try to fix things, the best way to serve yourself right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is whatever your query, Seahorse Spirits asks you to step back from it. Be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one. Just observe what is possible. From this perspective of position, the neutral observer, you will discover the myriad of opportunities and deeper understanding of what you seek and why. And you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom.
Nice.
I like that.
You like it? It resonates with you?
It does. I feel like sometimes, just like when I'm kind of like, when my life is in a frenzy, I tend to believe that everything's in a frenzy. And so when I see things are like going afray, like the need to want to control is there because I'm relinquishing so much control. So when I see that I can take control of a situation, I want to do it. But lately I've been in my that's not my business era and so much peace. So much peace.
Yes. Literally. Mind your business is like the way to heal. Okay. Let's see what the fuck this has to say. Okay. When Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as a part of community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnerships, the one you have with Spirit. Okay, period. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focus on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you, everything is working to support you right now. Yo. That's crazy.
Real.
Yeah. That is wild.
I feel like when you first picked up the card, it wasn't what you were
triggering.
Yeah. But at the end, like, it was like,
I
God
needed
is
to
like,
hear
co-create
that.
with me.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to work with no humans.
But like,
it's God.
what I'm learning too is like, because I'm in the same space of like not wanting to collaborate. It's like the collaboration comes after my vision is set.
Period.
And I can create a team to help me bring my vision to life.
Exactly.
Like, I can't do it by myself, but I don't need collaboration in the vision.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, that's exactly why I want to work alone, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to share my vision. I want my vision to come to life. And there are certain things where I feel like there needs to be a collaboration when it comes to vision with people, but there are certain things where I want to make it from mine, you know? So I definitely agree with you. Like, I'm in this space right now where I'm forcing myself to really just focus on a vision. What do you want to make? What do you need? What do you want, you know, to myself? And then once I figure that out, just trust in spirit that
Your
spirit will
team.
provide the team for it. And I feel like my heart is already there at the team part, where like I want the team already, and then I'll figure out the vision. But that's exactly what I've been doing, and then I like always steer away from what I want to make. So
Too many cooks.
yeah, so like when it talked about discipline, God is telling me like, if you want this, you got to really
Right.
start from ground zero. You know, like this is
This is the R&D. It's like you're creating the meal, and then you're gonna present it to people to help you create multiple.
right. R&D.
Yeah,
What is that?
that's like what chefs do when they're presenting like a new menu.
What does it stand for?
I could not fucking tell you. I don't know. Revise and dine. I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay.
But R&D, yeah, it's like when like they're presenting the menu to like investors or like the the managers, and the chef like creates the menu,
Right,
and
right.
then they pick which ones they need to improve on or which ones they're not gonna put on the menu.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Or not even there yet. I need to write the different menus 1st. That's what I'm doing.
Exactly, and you don't need help doing that.
No, that's all on
That's
me and
you
God. Period.
That's
All right, you guys.
yeah.
Like what she was gonna say, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's all right.
And that was another episode of Not Your Fetish Podcast.
Thank you for commenting, sharing. Keep doing that.
Yes, please continue to engage with us. The next episode will be a very special one. This one's, I mean, every episode is very special too, but yeah,
We love y'all.
we love you.
Peace.